things that is a signature, I think, of when you look at somebody like Apple or Nike, is what great brands do today because of their understanding of media and technology is, and this affects their product and innovation, is their development of ecosystems.
Yeah.
So if you look at, take Apple for a second, this year everybody was getting excited about the success that Samsung was having. But when you think about it, what separates Apple from Samsung is the fact that Apple has this huge ecosystem with related products and services, and the fact that developers want to develop for that. Those products connect the customer across a bunch of different platforms. Samsung has the phone, basically, and the developers don't move against that. And it's a big strength that Apple has that they don't have. When I look at Nike, for example, and you may not think it's a significant advancement, but when I look at the Fuel Band, you wear one, okay.
Yeah.
So to me, that's such a cool game changer for them. They recognize, so they're getting modest growth in their business on footwear and some of their core lines. What that does is that creates, using technology to create, help create an ecosystem that you use that to create community. It connects you to the Nike brand in a way that they'd never had before. It creates an emotional and time investment from their customer into the Nike brand that's extraordinary. So you could say that's a great example of using technology not just to develop product and revenue stream. They use technology to develop product loyalty, because you're engaged with that product, in a way that it's beyond just the rational piece of it. I just think it's a brilliant marketing move for them, and Apple has been on that curve ahead of everybody.
Well, I think to your point with Apple too versus Samsung. Samsung, they don't even have a total control. They have some of the functionality control of Android, but they really don't have the media components. They don't have the iTunes store. They don't have the TV components, where I think it's hard for them to control all those pieces.
Right.
But one of the things you talked about, with loyalty, we kind of believe there's like 3 C's. There's actually 4 and 5 as well, but there's content, collaboration, and community. And I think you hit on a lot of them as well. You have to have good content, first off, when you create a loyal audience. So whether that's content in the form of a book or a service or an offering or a product, that can be content. But the collaboration with your audience is very important, and you have to have a great community. So you talked about with the Nike Fuel Band having the ability for individuals to kind of get together and engage in a platform. So they have that communal aspect. But they also they look at game science from measuring and driving behavior. It's very comprehensive in their approach. Do most brands struggle with that today? Looking at the complete customer behavior opportunity?
Yeah, I mean, because what we're talking about is something that's kind of fascinating to me when you get into this whole area of loyalty, because you have to look at it too from the kind of businesses that the brands are in, right? When you look at businesses that have high attrition rates, and those are usually your retail businesses, you approach loyalty a little bit differently than you might with brands like, how often do you really buy running shoes, for example? So the importance of having community and establishing some of those things in their ecosystem becomes really important, because you're staying top of mind with that brand, that customer, who's not interacting with you in a purchasing environment so frequently. Now when you go into, let's take the hospitality industry, we talked about rental car, hotel industry. There what you see is, I think, a lot more brands are trying to get deeper levels of customer understanding at a very personal level, and customizing and revamping their loyalty programs, and using technology to hit you with covert, not just overt awards that recognize the unique idiosyncratic behavior that you're exhibiting as you interact with their brands.
Right.
So it is a fascinating dynamic, and what's woven through both spaces is technology as being a solution.
But there again, I think you hit on another very interesting point too, is being able to put together a loyalty program that's focused on loyalty as behavior and understanding the current behavior and an optimal behavior. There's a science around that. Right. There is the whole idea of data, analytics, predictive modeling, and being able to take as many inputs as you can from the customer. But right now with the data explosion that we've had over the last 2 to 4 years, Forrester said data has doubled over the last 2. It's going to double in the next 16 to 24 months. It's hard for brands to wrap their arms around the data pieces they have, let alone establish effective models that really kind of drive effective brand engagement.
Right.
How do you address that with brands who are looking to be more customer centric, who are challenged with the kind of the current data sets they have now? How do you address that going forward?
Well, it's hard, in some businesses, and I'd say more than we realize, the 80-20 rule really comes into play, and we get 20% of your customers, or maybe 25% even, that dominate, the most attractive revenue streams that you're getting. And it seems to me like a lot of companies should focus more resources and energy in understanding that 20%, and really pretty much defining your value proposition against them in a real sense, so that the others will come into that group. That's what you want to do, is kind of expand that group, because they're your frequent users. One of the things that we encourage a lot of our clients to do is consider social communities, the creation of social communities. I'm amazed at how many large companies, don't take the time to construct a voice of the customer community where they can have real-time conversations with their most passionate customers about their business and how to, craft programs that are most responsive to them.